Race number 2 is the Kowloon Peak Handicap. Again, it's Class 5 over the trip of 1,200 metres. And in this lineup here, we've got Theta Hedge for Harry Bentley. And he comes back into Class 5 after having a spin around in Class 4 last start. Glorified Fire started here on a rating of 68, is down to 36. Handsome Guys is now trained by Casper Found. Strive for Glory is a 22 start maiden. Johnny, a last start winner. The good deal there for Michael Chang. Cheek pieces off, Hood goes on. Sunny Baby's first up for a wee while. It's had a number of issues. Dashing Genius, an 8-start maiden. Medic Elite has joined the stable of Pierre Ung. You've got Fortune Hero and Zarshian, who's been a very costly conveyance, has Zarshian. He's only carrying the 120 pounds. Glorified Fire, Paul, led up in a recent trial and looked quite handy, I thought, there.
He did, didn't he? Look, and he's drawn barrier number 10, so I think they'll push on and get to the lead with him. Now, Strive for Glory is another one that led in a recent trial, but look, he's a 22-start maiden. He did look good in that trial, to be fair, but and he's got Zach Purton aboard. He'll go forward as well. Theta Hedge from barrier 9, another one that will come across with him. So I think the speed's wide in this. The Good Deal, I think he's on the improve, the Good Deal, but another one that's drawn wide.
Yeah, the first runner we'll have a look at here for race number 2 is Taking You Further, and he's trained by Jimmy Ting. Jimmy's horses at the start of the season do invariably go well. You've got Jack Wong, good to see Jack back in the saddle after an injury layoff, but he's come up with barrier 14.
That's the problem, and with all his pace underneath him, I wonder if they'll go back. In the past, when he has drawn wide with pace, he has gone back. We know that he likes to go forward as well, but I think if he goes forward, he'll get stranded. So he'll need a little bit of luck, and he'll need the pace on.
What about the Jolly down on the inside? Do we entertain him from barrier 2?
Yeah, look, he found some good form at the back end of last season, and from that inside draw, I think he's going to get his opportunity.
OK, we'll touch on that trial now of Glorified Fire. This was down the straight at Sha Tin last Saturday morning, back on the 3rd. Went to the front here with the UW brother. Seemed to travel pretty well.
Yeah, he did, and I thought it was a nice trial from Glorified Fire. That's why I thought he might lead up in this race. I know Strive for Glory will come across, but he's drawn even wider. Look, he, as you mentioned, he arrived on of 68. He's been downgraded into Class 5 for the first time. Dennis Yip, he goes pretty well when these horses are downgraded into Class 5.
He had a bit of a lean season in terms of wins last year, did Dennis. I think the camp is certainly ready to fire this time round. Now, you mentioned before the trial of Strive for Glory. He is drawn wide here, won the trial easily, but he's one placing from 22. It's hard to stomach, really.
Yeah, and that was a 3rd. He's the favourite, so the thrill seekers are on him. It was a good trial, there's no doubt about it, and he did show some pace and ran away, but of course trials on an all-weather versus a race now on the grass is a lot different. Look, I've included him on a minor line because there is improvement there, but it's hard to have him on a win line with that record that he's showing so far.
That was Theta Hedge in the trial running second to him there. He's obviously a barrier rogue, but he was only 10 to 1 in the market last start.
Yeah, he was, and look, he did find a bit of form at the back end of the season.
OK, you with the 22-start maiden Strive for Glory?
No, I'm going to put him in, but just on a minor line, Strive for Glory. Now, I'm going to go with a horse called Handsome Guys. He's always worked well. I've put him in the numbers a few times last season. He's dropped 23 pounds. The blinkers come off. He's with a new stable and he's got the inside draw. So there's some positives there. He's come up, there's support from early as well. So he's on top, Handsome Guys. The Jolly from the inside draw. Strive for Glory with a 22-start maiden. Other horse that's really well rated is number 13, Fortune Hero. I wanted to include him as well because I think he'll be in the right place. He won off a rating of 41. He's all the way down to 29. He might be one at a bit of value, so I wanted to include him. 3, 9, 4 and 13.
Yeah, I'll hang my hat here on Glorified Fire, number 2 for Dennis Yip and Antoine Hamlin. Drawn Barry, number 10. I think they might try and roll forward with him off the back of what I thought was a handy enough trial. Handsome Guys goes in. Like Paul, I like that trial. We saw him in the trial there with the Strive for Glory running 3rd. Theta Hedge was in that same trial, and there is Strive for Glory, but certainly wouldn't be too keen on entertaining the 5.2 that is on offer at the moment. 2, 3, 1 and 4. That is race number 2, the second of our Class 5 races, the Kowloon Peak Handicap over the 1,200 metres.